I have some clients that, let's just say, are very high achievers, and it's amazing what I'm learning from them. And that is, they find as much joy in the process than they do in the actual getting and reaching that destination of the dream. The process that we go through in getting to that point is not only essential, we always say it's essential. It's more than essential. It's actually life-giving.
And welcome back to 5 Ideas. I'm your host, Joey Nagel, along with Rich Clay. If you're new to the show, I'd encourage you to check out episode 1, where we talk about all the 5 ideas. We talk about what they're about. Also, our website, 5ideas.co, has everything that's listed there. If you're returning, welcome back. We're so great to have you on the show. Today, we're talking about a really cool category. And it's kind of a category that encompasses all the 5 ideas, as does most. They all are all interconnected, which we know. But we're talking about why you actually don't. We were literally just having a conversation before this episode. We weren't even planning on this being the episode, but it was impacting us so deeply and emotionally. We're like, and spiritually, like we got to talk about this. So we're talking about why you don't actually necessarily want your dream to happen overnight. And Rich was giving us some phenomenal insight on that, and we're going to share it with you guys because it is a new idea. It's a new thought. It's not something you hear a lot. You hear instantaneous success, viral success, and then you sometimes hear from people who are like, no, you want to build it. You want to hustle it out. You want your dream to take time. You want it, you hear some of that, but I think that both of those sides of the spectrum can sometimes be a little bit too far on each side of the spectrum.
Dream is something that it's comes out of the deep recesses of your soul. It's something that you can see, but you're not experiencing yet. It's a different kind of future. It's a different kind of life. It's coming into a fulfillment. It's something you think about. It's a little boy in the backyard thinking, dreaming he's a professional baseball player by throwing the ball up and swinging. Matter of fact, I heard a great story about this little guy's in the backyard. He wants to be a New York Yankee someday. He throws the ball up. He swings. He misses. He throws the ball up again. He swings. He misses. He throws the ball up again. He swings. He misses. He's saying to himself, "I want to be the greatest hitter of all time." So he throws the ball up again, misses, and says, "I'm going to be the greatest pitcher of all time." So, dreams are, we can change our dreams, but there's a word that we'll throw out, and then we'll talk about this. The word that I like to use a lot, and it is a biblical word, it is the word suddenly. And we were just talking about that. Suddenly does not mean immediately.
Wow.
So Joseph in the Old Testament had a dream that he would be a ruler someday, a high-level leader. And he went through 18 plus years of everything but that. So back to your original, what is the purpose of the delay of a dream? And by the way, delays don't mean denial. A delay is not just God's denial. A delay, there's a lot that happens in that. Joseph went through a lot of learning stages. He learned how to keep his mouth shut. He learned how to deal with false accusation. He learned how to manage and oversee things that weren't his. And at the right time, his dream had a suddenly, and he went from being a prisoner to being prime minister in Egypt in one of the most significant times in world history, when there was a great a famine that was going to destroy the land, and he was used to save
The world. Even more, way more stripped down and simplified than that is, I think back to when I'm a kid and my parents tell me we're going on vacation. I want to go now. Like, hey, we're gonna go to the park. Oh, let's go to the park. Let's go to the park. Let's go to the park. Like, you get the dream. You're not experiencing yet, but you're like, now. But it doesn't happen right then and there. I think some of that carries with us into adulthood, where we have an idea or a vision and we want it now. And when it doesn't happen now, we think that it's not supposed to happen. Silly dreams, you're off dreaming again, And some of that society, it's It's Satan. It's people who don't want you to succeed. It's the voices and the lies. But a lot of times I feel like we can get, like my brother David, who's producing the show back here, he was telling of a story, like he had a dream to write music and work on stuff, and then life happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had those dreams when we were teenagers and when we were young, and then now you got to make money. Dream time's over. You had your fun dreaming when you were a kid. I feel like that's honestly how a lot of people talk and think, especially in our area, in the rural Midwest, whatever. But yeah, dream time's over. It's life now.
And a lot of people in your age category, Joey, really are wanting to get to that pot of gold at the end of the tunnel. How can I get there now? How can I have that business now? How can I have that 100K, income now? Now, right? But I have some clients that, let's just say, are very high achievers and very well-to-do, and they're a little bit down the road from you. And it's amazing what I'm learning from them. And that is they find as much joy in the process than they do in the actual getting and reaching that destination of the dream. So the process that we go through in getting to that point is not only essential. We always say it's essential. Joseph had to go through this. I had to go through this to get to my dream. It's more than essential. It's actually life-giving. It's what life's made out of.
Yep.
And so if we just walk into the dream, what's that? We haven't learned anything. We haven't done anything. We haven't earned anything.
We'll be stressed out.
And in the process of life, that's what makes it a joy. Even Dorothy, in The Wizard of Oz, right? There was
the process to get there.
It was the process.
The process, I think, is one of the most underrated pieces of working towards your dream. It is the dream. The process is the dream. I mean, and oftentimes when you achieve your dream, that's old news now. You're on to the next dream. And like, for example, if somebody wants to write a song or somebody wants to be a famous musician or whatever, that's their dream. And a lot of times it's like, oh, that's easy. You just need a microphone and you need to know how to sing and you need to go on stage and that's it. But they don't realize like all the back end, the writing, the recording, the producing, the touring, the planning, the sound guys, the 100-man crew that's building that set and that stage and the this and the that and the money and the tickets and the taxes and they don't think about any of that. And if you just get plopped right into that and you have that overnight success, a lot of times it can destroy you because you weren't expecting everything that came with it. You just saw the byproduct, the outcome, the final stage. And so sometimes I feel like people don't have they see the end, but they don't really know what it all entails. And so having it overnight isn't always a good thing.
No. And here's something really cool. They're doing studies on this. They've done studies on this. So oftentimes when a person reaches a goal, let's say, and this happens a lot in athletic events. Mm-hmm. So you win the World Series, or you do the 5K that you wanted to do, or the triathlon you wanted to do. After the exhilaration of it, there's a big letdown.
Yeah.
It's actually chemical. It's actually psychological. There's a letdown. And what you find out is you need another dream to start going after right away. Yep. And that's not a bad thing. It's just the way we're wired. So actually having more than one dream in front of us is probably a good idea, because you might get to one point, but you still got other dreams and other things to fulfill. So I help my clients sometimes go, okay, that's the dream in that area. And of course, we do the 5 ideas thing. So I'm saying, okay, so that's your health and fitness dream and goal. What's your financial dream and goal? What's your relational dream and goal? Now at that time, so hopefully what's happening is that goals are being reached, dreams are being met constantly and continually in people's lives. And there's not the big, huge letdown of what do I do next? There's always something next that we're shooting for.
Peak performance.
Yeah. That's it right
That's
there.
peak performance. So that's one of the 5 categories. And so the 5 categories, as you're familiar: health and fitness, faith and spirituality, relationships, wealth, finance, and then peak performance. And the first 4, health and fitness, faith and spirituality, relationships, wealth, and finance, those 4 are all, I don't know, subjective, subjective. They can be different for each person. And like Rich just said, what's your financial goal? What's your health goal? What's your...
You want to be a peak performer in all 4 of the areas.
Peak performance keeps you... There's always a dream in front of you.
Always
Peak performance ensures that you always have another dream.
Yeah.
First dream, 5K. Second dream,
10K.
10K. Iron Man is another. Like, you never, ever, ever stop dreaming. So I think 2 of the biggest ideas I'm getting from this conversation and this podcast are: the process is part of the dream, and it's enjoyable. Mm-hmm. And actually, it's more enjoyable than the achievement, because the achievement is a letdown. Because chemically, you've arrived, and now you can let down. I mean, you can settle down, but the settling down is not, it's not fun. What was fun was working towards your dream. Then you hit it. You achieved it. You achieved that dream, and done. However, what if you're on to your next dream now? Ooh, I've achieved my dream. Now I can get to my next dream. So you take a little break, take a little breather. Now you're on to your next dream. That is peak performance. That is that 5th category. It oversees all of the categories. And I think that's what we're hitting on right now, is like, the process is so important. It may be more important than the achievement, and more fun. And that peak performance is making sure that you never, ever, ever stop dreaming. You never achieve your dream. You never finish dreaming. You never stop, and you're not supposed to.
Good connect. And here's a practical one for those that follow us. The book that we just completed, and that you can get on Amazon.
Link in the description.
And man, we are the profit. All of the profits to this book are going to the Victory Project in Dayton, Ohio, which is, we're going to do a whole podcast on that.
Yep.
So I won't get into that. That book laid dormant in my soul for at least 10 years. The idea, the concepts, the stories. And then suddenly, within months, it was written, published, and being sold now. That was a dream. And as exciting as that was, right now I'm like, what's book number 2?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of what's book number 2?
Yeah.
I want to get to book number 2.
Yeah.
So suddenly is not immediately. But when it comes to a dream, it doesn't go away. I say that all the time. It may lay dormant, but it won't go away.
And let me tell you some really cool stuff about the process. Is if you just start going towards your dream, you'll learn what it takes to achieve it along the way. 5K, I've never run one before, as I just signed up for it. Now I have to learn how to do it. The cool thing about it is, if you think you want to get everything ready, if you want to learn everything perfectly before you start, you will never start, or you may never start. It'll be way harder to start. But if you just start, and then you have a goal that you have to be ready by, you'll achieve your dream. You'll achieve it, and you'll learn how to achieve it along the way, and you'll have to learn how to achieve it along the way. That's the process. And sometimes people don't start for fear of failure, but who really cares about failure if the other option is just not achieving your dream? So it's either I don't achieve my dream or I fail to achieve my dream. Same result. You didn't achieve your dream. At least the process, you learned something. Like, I throw the ball in the air, I can't hit it. I'm going to be a pitcher now. I just learned that I may not be a great hitter, but I'm going to be a pitcher. I'm going to be the best pitcher ever. And I think that's the whole episode right there.
And Wayne Gretzky, the great hockey player, says you'll miss 100% of the shots you never take. So true.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of 5 Ideas. Remember that the process is the dream. The process can even be more fun than the dream. And after the dream, you got to have another dream on deck. always, when you're getting close to achieving your dream, you're like, what's the next dream? Because I'm going to take a week vacation, then I'm on to my next dream. You should always be dreaming. You should always be in the middle of a dream, and you should always be working towards your dream, your goals, your desires. It's different for everybody. And do not just dream in one category. You have to dream in all 5, and you have to peak perform in all 5 in order to have a fully satisfying life. And with that, we thank you, and we'll see you on the next episode.